watching and now the band. We're here with Paul and Cy from Amplifiers. Amplifiers based out of Pennsylvania, and I was introduced to them last year for the PostFest pre-show at Black Circle in Indianapolis, and they were fucking awesome. And we chatted after, and they were all super cool, which made it even more fucking awesome. And now they have a new album coming out, unknown date, but it will come out at some
Soon.
point.
Soon. Yeah.
Yes, yeah. And the album is called This Is Not a Nile Song Long, The Inevitability of Disillusionment. Did I nail it?
You
Oh
nailed
yeah,
it.
you nailed it.
Fuck, yeah, I got something right today. Uh, Guys, seriously, thank you both for taking time out of your evening to hang out and chat with me. It's we were just talking, hadn't chatted with you guys in like 10 months. And I first have to say I'm really fucking sad that you guys at Hero Way did not come to Louisville. Or I sh what I should say is that I was not able to see that run because I love both you guys, you know what I mean?
Oh yeah. No, hey, you never know. We love Hero Way so much as a band and as people,
Yeah.
and we have already talked. Like we've got a couple of other dates coming, and while it's not out toward Louisville, you never know
Yet.
in the interim. Like we definitely want to make our way out that way together. So yeah, I imagine that that will happen probably sooner rather than later.
Kick ass. Yeah, if I could do anything to help facilitate that, I am happy to be that person.
Oh, we will absolutely take you up on that. And Eric, if you decide to watch this, we're gonna have to make it happen. We're getting clamors for it, so let's do it.
Glamours. I like that. That's a good word.
That's
They're clamoring at the door for us. Oh my
right.
God.
$10 word for, from a 10-cent mine. So
Yeah. So speaking of clamoring, we went to IKEA today, right? And we get there. We're there, I don't know, 5 minutes before they open. So there's like four cars in the fucking whole parking lot. Like, we'll just wait till they open the doors. No big deal. So we're sitting in the car, air conditioning, whatever. Every other car, we're like at the door, like, I gotta get in. Like, dude, it's IKEA and there's only 12 of us total. Like, what are you racing for?
it's the principle. That's what it
Yeah,
is. It's the principle. You
I'm
got
the
to be the
first one.
first person stepping through. Yeah, they got a
Yes.
ribbon they cut every single day.
Yeah. Every fucking day. It's like going to IKEA. I had to get me a new cube because I've run out of storage for my records. You you can kind of see I have a stack of records here.
Uh-huh.
I have a stack of records here. I have a stack of records there because I don't have anywhere for them to go.
And they are just perfect space like size for that. You know what I mean? Like they knew what they were doing
Yeah,
when they crafted those.
absolutely perfect. So let's actually talk about the album because this is why we are here. First, let's start with Paul since we can't see Paul in any like facial expressions.
Sorry.
No, you're good. Paul, what song on the album like stands out to you or speaks to you more than the others?
Um, God, it changed so much during the course of writing and recording the album. Um, because I get so hyper focused on one song and then I listen to something else or I hear something else whenever we play live and then it hyper focuses onto that. But I think the one that stuck with me the entire time was the last song on the track called Disillusionment, where I think we talked about this on the last one, and I think that's where I started tearing up. Um, the the entire album has this very dark theme that kind of flows from the first album, where it's a little bit darker than the first album, in my opinion, and so I can talk more on that.
Well, it's definitely
Um,
better than the first album. Yeah.
but the end song, whenever we wrote it, because this was not a song that was written initially prior to me being in the band, I believe. I think we were either really close or started that song from scratch together.
Yeah. We started it from scratch together for sure.
Yeah.
That's cool.
And I wanted, just based on where my headspace was and what I like in music, whenever I write, I like having this very uh black and white um themes in one song, where something sounds very hopeful and something sounds very distraught or very like you're at rock bottom. And that's what
Sure.
that song does. By the end of the song, by the end of the album, the feeling that I hope people have based on how we wrote it was there is a light at the end of the tunnel. There is hope.
That's
Um,
how that is exactly how the album ends. And that
mhm.
is like that ringing out.
Yep.
Like that is exactly how I took it. It's like the story's not over. We're still going. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. And that's exactly how I want people to take it. And whenever we've played the album for a couple of people, and some of those people have said that that's the feeling that they got, and that's all that I cared about. I don't care
That's
about people
fucking
thinking that I'm a
awesome.
yeah. I don't care if people think that I'm a good or a bad drummer on this album. Or if any of the instrumentation was like perfect and it sounds perfect, it sounds like a perfected record musically. If they get that feeling at the end of it, that's more than enough for me.
You know, it's funny you say that. Like, so I've had a lot of conversations with people lately about recording and the recording process and what the hope or the expectation is through the recording process. And I think people are so fed up with, I don't want to say where music is, but like everything being so completely clean that
Mhm.
we're really starting to shift more away from that. And it's more going more for the vibe, you know,
Yeah.
like it, which that's what, to me, that's what music is about, is it doesn't have to be fucking perfect. I just want to get these feelings across to you.
Mhm.
Yeah. It just needs to make an impact.
Yeah. You got to connect with someone. I feel like um, I'm glad that is what you're going for, because I feel through the album, especially what's that fucking ninth song? Hold on, I'm gonna look so you guys don't have to say it, because 9,000 Dreams. It's almost like I want to say a choir, but not really a choir, but like praying monks, you know, in a
Mhm.
fucking hall, and then leading into disillusionment is like wild.
Yeah. We wanted to do that like with a couple of those, like, not just with Disillusionment, just because that fits so perfectly, that really sullen, just, it could have been recorded in an empty cathedral, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that was sort of like what we were talking about when I was recording it. Um, since it's literally just me and a guitar and a massive amount of reverb. But we wanted to kind of tap into that because it's the same with Remembrance. The single we just put out, like the actual album version of it, doesn't have the single elongated introduction that the single version does. Having "We're Lost, We're Gone" as the intro that has a lot of those big choir parts in it. That was kind of by design. We wanted it to feel like almost monks in a choir in an empty cathedral. So
Yeah.
that's that repeating kind of feeling that we wanted to, not necessarily like a pattern, but this whole record is just nothing but tapping into vibes and feelings. That's what we wanted.
Oh yeah. It's those pieces through the album to me are like it's like the sky opening up and you see these rays of light kind of shining through these dark clouds, you know. And it's so weird how that like impacts you, especially when you listen like through the album all the way through. And I'll tell you, like on our way up to Dayton yesterday, I said, "Hey, I want you to listen to this." So we listened to the album, and my wife's like, "I really like them." I'm like, "Yeah, they're fucking, they're rad. Like
Oh
they're
man,
really fucking good."
thank you.
So, um, she, I told you this, and I still cannot put my fucking finger on it, dude. There's a, and I don't even remember what song it's in right now. Son of a bitch. Uh,
Was it
there's
was
a,
it in Remembrance? Was that the
I think so. It might, yeah, I
yeah?
think so. There's that vocal melody that is like it. I'm just like this. It reminds me of something, but I can't put my fucking finger on it.
Well, when you do put your finger on it, I'm going to be very interested to know what it is because yeah, you got me on the edge of my seat here, Tom. I'm dying to know.
Me fucking too. Like I'm like, dude, I can't tell you how many times I listened to that song. I asked my wife. I said, tell me what you think. She goes, man, this part it really reminds me of a song, and I'm like, what fucking song? She's like, I don't know. I can't put my finger on it, but it like I'm like, I've heard, I swear to God, I've heard this before, but maybe I haven't. And maybe it's just like, maybe this is my deja vu coming true or something.
Yeah, you got
Um,
the Mandela effect going on a little bit.
something, dude. Someone fucked with a butterfly somewhere in my life, and I don't know what, I don't know
Listen,
what's,
I will take it though. Like honestly, if it's something that kind of harkens back to something that you feel like you've heard before that elicits that kind of reaction, then I'll take that. You know, that's doing something right. Whether it's something you can put your finger on and you can say, yeah, this sounds exactly like this, or this reminds me of something like this. To yeah, I'll chase that rabbit for the rest of my life, thinking about
yeah.
what the hell does this sound like. I'll take that. At least that means that you're feeling something from it, and that's
There's
like
a,
that's the main thing.
there's a connection there.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Right. Like I think with music, that's always what we're like shooting for. Like, am I able when you write, it's like, am I able to connect with people with this? Like when I go to a show, I don't give a fuck about your political opinion. I don't care about your sexual preference or your religious preference. Like it's to me, this is the best way I know to put it is this is the sinew of what we fucking are. Like this is where we connect. That's it.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I mean that's the reason that we perform the way that we do. I mean, we essentially, the way I look at it anyway, is we essentially erase ourselves on stage. It is, it's not about the four guys that are playing the instruments. It's not about the bullshit of people globbing onto a singer. It's not about the people freaking out because the drummer is basically flipping himself upside down to do fills. It's not about any of the guitarists just doing absolutely insane batshit stuff. It's nothing but lights and fog and reflections of something that may look like people at certain points. Because in a way it dehumanizes us, but at the same time, in a way, I think it connects us to everybody a lot more because it's not us as people, it's the experience overall.
It's not an image,
Yeah.
right? Like, um, which is it's I think Psalm is really good with that as well,
Yeah.
right? Like
Great.
you they have the lights behind. I mean, you guys do the same fucking thing, right? Lights from behind, but all you see is like a shadowy figure,
Hmm.
and you're fucking performing, and you don't go, that's a good looking person. I really like how they fucking dress today. It's like, oh, these songs are fucking awesome, you know? Which is what, to me, that's kind of what we need to, in this realm, that's what we where we need to be, right? Like if we're listening to Converge or something, I want to see how crazy they're gonna fucking be on stage.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah. We're definitely not Converge.
no, no, very, very different.
Yeah.
So, Sai, same question to you that I just asked Paul.
Oh man. It's really difficult because I mean, I am deeply, deeply invested in all of it from a lyrical standpoint,
Yeah.
to the point where like I think about it and it physically terrifies me to think that what I've written lyrically, I'm about to put out into the world in its entirety. And I know how I feel about it. Like I know the feelings that I had when I wrote it, and I know that I hope people will take it to heart. I know that some people are going to take it a completely different direction, and that's okay. Um, but it's soul bearing. You know what I mean? There's a lot of things in there that are chronicles of the concept of the record. You know, it's that downward side of a bell curve where you're headed down that slope into that feeling where you are disillusioned. Like, you know, all these things that you work towards internally, externally affect you in ways that you don't expect. And kind of what Paul was talking about, like, you know, towards the end, you do see that light at the end of the tunnel and you start to think to yourself, you know, there is hope. But like the repeating pattern of lyrics in it is we're not safe from ourselves. And I know that we kind of talked about this the last time at PostFest, but um getting the opportunity now to kind of talk to you about it now that you've heard the whole record, and you hear it, you know, hear that repeating pattern, then you get to that very end of Disillusionment and you hear that last final vocal line of "You are safe here with me." That to me is the perfect summary of the record in its entirety. Um, because no matter what, like you can find yourself in the most awful of conditions, and you know you can be in so much pain, and you can be in a complete and total state of disillusionment in your life, but ultimately there can always be a light at the end of the tunnel. And that was something that I know that I wanted to drive home lyrically, and I think, you know, the rest of the band really bought into and wanted to drive that home instrumentally. Um, but I mean, when it comes to like a singular song, for me it was probably Dissent.
Mm.
And it's because Dissent is probably the most difficult song that I've ever had to write. I think I've rewritten it. I can't even tell you how many times over the span of probably 3 years it took me to write that song. And finally got to a point where, I mean, we were in the throes of recording the album at this point, and the only other person that had heard any of it at all was Paul. I had basically played him the demo of it that had most of the instrumentation without drums, and he literally sat in this room, like on the futon behind me, and just like stared off blankly for a little bit, like as it kind of, I think, kind of sunk in. I don't know, Paul. I mean, if you please keep me honest here, but it was just one of those moments where once everything finally clicked and the instrumentation and the lyrics came together, it was like Paul basically was like, I know what I want to do drum wise. And
Yeah. Yep.
we went from there. We did one demo on drums and took it into the studio, and none of the other guys had heard it before. And it was literally just, it was a song where Paul and I put it together, and it was the last song that we recorded on the entire record. And I remember finishing the lyrics for it and just sliding down the wall of the vocal booth and just complete release, just sobbing into my hands. It was cathartic. It was emotional. It was everything that you really hope that music can do as a release for somebody. And that's how I felt about it. So I really hope that somebody else can feel that as well from it.
I think they do. I think it comes off like that, right? Like not even putting lyrics into play. The music, it itself it lends itself to that. At the end, there's a oh,
That
sigh of relief.
physical relief. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, this record was definitely the hardest I've ever had to record. And I
And you're
didn't write
talking
any
about
of the lyrics.
emotionally.
Yeah, yeah. I didn't write any of the lyrics, but I connected my personal life with it so much that whenever it was all said and done and I heard the final cut, I mentally was like, I'm like done with this, but I'm not done with it. Um, and so Sai knows I've been talking about it the entire, like, ever since I was talking about it whenever we were recording the record. We have an idea for more music after this already
Of course
that
you do.
that I I have been taking a lot of inspiration from hardcore bands, and I mentally am in a very like cynical, angry
Angry.
state that all of this emotion that I just released, like I just released all this emotion even though I'm only a drummer to the public. And now I'm kind of pissed. And I kind of need to show that too.
These are just so you guys know, these are the steps of grief.
It's
Yeah.
really, really funny that you say that, actually.
Really funny that you said that.
uh, oh man, we'll have a conversation about this some other time, Tom.
No, let's fucking talk about it right now. We are here now because you guys don't know this, right? And I will tell you, um, so I was at PostFest. My wife had like a potential breast cancer thing. Beginning of August, it was confirmed. August 29th, she went and had a double mastectomy.
Oh man.
Uh, October 6th, we had to put our youngest dog down because she had cancer. November, was it like end of November, beginning of December, my uncle passed away from cancer. And then March, had to be March, beginning of March, my mom passed away.
Oh man.
So like that is where I'm fucking connected right now is
Yeah.
grief.
Oh,
Yeah.
So I don't say that to be
well,
to like bring it down.
Right.
no.
I'm just saying this is like to this is literally what I've been dealing with for 8, 9, 10 months now.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean,
I'm
first
so
and
sorry.
foremost, man, that's a lot for you and your family. So, I mean, you
Yeah.
know that we're here with you, all of you. Uh, that's a tough thing to talk about. So, I'll follow that up with saying, yeah, thank you for that. Thank you for, for bearing that. The the next piece of music that we're going to be working on is literally going to be modeled after the 5 stages of grief. It
Yep.
is going to be musical representations of every single step of grief.
I might have something to contribute.
Anything you're willing to. I mean, we will I don't want to say happily, but we will absolutely take on, and as this comes together, I think it's important to understand as best as possible all the different sides that come with it,
Yeah.
and then find the right way to express it. And that's something that Paul and I have been discussing a fair amount. We think is going to be pretty special.
I
So
think
I'm
I think what you're doing already is pretty fucking special.
I'm
that means a lot.
very much looking forward to it. And
Yeah.
yeah, that's huge. Just hearing that not only just from you, but from anybody, means a ton. Um the I think the thing that we want to do is as healthily as possible convey dark themes to, and I mean this goes for any band that focuses around dark themes in subjects like we do, in a way that is more of a release and not more of,
More weight.
yeah, yeah. We want to be open about the sadness and anger. We don't want to contain it.
I think
I think,
most of us do that too much in our lives already.
yeah.
100%. I masked that shit with comedy.
Oh,
It's the same way.
we get it. Yeah, we all get it. But you get to that point where you can only compartmentalize for so long before it starts to
Yeah.
extract a toll on you. And I think, the evolution of the music that we've been working on into this definitely makes sense, because there is a depth of the darkness on this record. There was some on the first record, and the way that they're interconnected. I mean, literally, if you listen to the first record, it's interesting because the beginning track of the first record is actually the end track of the first record in reverse, and the end of the first record actually is the broken music that you hear at the beginning of The Inevitability of Disillusionment. So technically, if you were to listen to them back to back, you would hear the first record fade out, and then you would hear the second record fade in, but like it's broken through a radio transmission. And that's sort of how we carried that and built upon that. And now you listen to that final song, on this record, on Disillusionment, and there's that beautiful ethereal melody that Paul had written for it that arches over everything, and it gives you that beautiful, like, ethereal feeling that goes with it. And then you get to the very end of it, and then you hear it play again, and it sounds like it's slowing down and it's losing steam. And then you realize that it never finishes. That final note that you're waiting for after you've heard it a handful of times in a row, it's not there. So that leaves you thinking, okay, where do we go from here? And that's a big
This is
tie
heavy, man.
Yeah.
Like,
It's,
I
yeah.
I fucking love that you guys are so thought out with everything you do. Like, it is meticulously pieced together, that so it keeps that connection
Mhm.
through fucking everything.
Oh, it's chaos. It's full chaos.
It
It
is
may be contained as well.
organized chaos.
It is
Yeah.
organized chaos. Yeah.
but there's also, I mean, there's parts of the first record that are intertwined into the second record. You know, there's callbacks to old songs,
Hmm.
and there's little things that I don't think a lot of people would probably hear, but we know that are there.
Yeah,
Yep.
That's like, this is off the first record, and people probably don't catch on to that, but maybe someday they will. Who knows?
Yep.
someone does.
Everything is cyclic in a way, and that's the reason that that's on the record multiple times as well. Like
I mean,
you
that's
find
life, right?
you find ways to reconnect with things. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
everything's so fucking cyclical that it's if if you don't know it yet, it fucking is. Like
Amen.
it comes and it goes.
Mhm.
There's
Yeah.
an ebb and a flow, and I think that's with the album, I think the album does that really well. I mean, you've got some songs that they pick up the pace and it slows down and it makes you like, okay, I need to like think through this, like a reflection, right? What the fuck happened? How do I get through this?
Hmm.
There's movements to it.
Yeah.
It's actually like probably the first four songs basically go from one into the next. You hit the fifth song, which is called Needle, and that's kind of like the almost like the interlude track.
Yeah, very much so. Like as soon as I heard it, I was like, oh,
It's out of nowhere.
Hmm.
yeah, like what
Yeah.
happened here?
Yep.
Hmm.
Yep. And then, the final four tracks after that, it's basically again, one goes into the next, goes into the next.
Yeah. I think those are my favorite albums. Most albums that I listen to, maybe all of the albums that I listen to or prefer to listen to are it's not just a bunch of singles,
Hmm.
right? Like the album as a whole is
Or
the art.
concept albums.
Well, it doesn't even have to like it doesn't even have to necessarily be a concept album,
Yeah.
right? But if the songs are written, I don't want to say well enough, but in a way and arranged in a way
Hmm.
that when you listen to the album, it just flows one track into the next. It's it works so much better than putting on a fucking pop album and you're like, oh, this single is great. Oh, that single is great. Oh, this I'm gonna skip that.
Hmm.
Hmm.
No, I don't want a fucking album that I have to skip songs on. I want a fucking album, you know what I mean?
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah. And we try to make that translate live as well. There's not a lot of time between tracks that we're playing that has, almost any dead air. Like prior to when you saw us for the first time at the PostFest pre-show, that was the first time in a while that we actually technically had dead air between songs, even though you really couldn't hear it because it was like, we finish up
Right.
a song and there'd be a little bit of time between them, but there's probably someone, still tapering off delay wise, or,
Yep.
me wailing like a damn banshee for God knows
Hmm.
what reason. Um, we used to have like actual interludes between everything. So it was constant, you know what I mean? So we still do that very much so. Like they still flow from one to the next. Um, and it just adds, I think, to the overall presence. You don't get taken out of it because it's not just a single after a single after a single. It's
Yeah.
carefully curated in a way that you are going to stay engaged whether you like it or not, especially with the lights.
Yeah.
Well,
um
that's part of the art, right? Like, I think that's one of my favorite albums from start to finish. I shit you not. I could listen to this album all day, every day for 3 weeks and not be fucking bored with it. It's Pink Floyd. Uh oh fuck.
What's on the cover of it?
Oh, it's the fucking burning dude. Got Welcome to the Machine. Come on.
I can see the cover in my head. Why am I blanking on this?
Just wish you were here, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
fucking
okay,
thank
yeah,
you.
yeah, yeah.
I'm like, I know it. I
Mhm.
fucking listened to it yesterday. Like, what is going on? Why can't I think of this?
I do that
But
all the time.
you know, the older you get, the fucking worse it gets. Uh, but so you like that is one of those albums you put it on, it doesn't stop through the entire thing, and it's
Mhm.
5 songs, but it's beautiful. It's just an amazing album, and I think there's an art to that, and you guys nail that also. Like when you're like, you got to download it and listen to it all the way through in order. I 100% understand why you said that. It
Yeah,
works that way.
yeah, yeah. I think it would be good out of order. Like if you just kind of, poked around in it and just, listen to this
Sure.
song, listen to this song. Yeah, I mean, sure, a collection of songs would be great, but you would be missing the overall.
Aesthetic of the record. Like
Exactly.
that's
Yeah.
that. Yeah, I think the casual listener will enjoy the songs because
Yeah.
the songs are great songs. I think the fan is going to listen to it from start to finish and the whole time go, holy shit, I was not expecting that.
Yeah.
That's the
Uh,
hope.
I'll play devil's advocate. I do like writing songs that are easily uh uh
Listenable.
ingest ingestible in a few minutes. But I do like having the structure of having a front to back album that you can listen to and understand a bigger story. Um, that's kind of the way that whenever Cy and I were working on a track list order, I think that's what I wanted it to be. Um, where somebody could go in and listen to a song and be like, okay, I understand the theme of this song, but if you listen to the front and back, it's giving you this feeling. It's so funny. There's a band that I love and is not a band anymore. They're called Jolly. They're a band from New York that was like they were they're a prog rock band. And they got picked up by like Mike Portnoy loved them, the drummer for Dream Theater.
Mm-hmm. I
And
met
they
I
had
met him
two.
last year.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, Louder Than Life.
Nice.
Nice. Um, they had two concept albums. Their first two albums were called The Audio Guide to Happiness, Part One and Two. And
Hmm.
there's a music video that they did for a song called Joy, or I think it was for The Pattern. I think it was for a song called The Pattern, where it's literally just one static camera on a guy listening to the track, and it like teases the other tracks in the album. So it makes it look like this man is just being filmed listening to the front and back of the album. And by the end of the track, he's like bawling, he's crying. And I'm like, I want that. I want people to feel that by the end of the record. It doesn't have to be by the end of a song, but I want them to feel that by the end of the record. And that's basically my thought process of what the album should be. I think if somebody's listening to it for the first time, should give it a shot front to back if they can, because you're gonna understand all of it in one. But
Yeah,
obviously, people are gonna have favorite songs off this album. I don't expect
absolutely.
somebody to listen to it front to back every single time. I
Yeah.
don't have that kind of fucking time.
I
So
so I am that fucking weirdo when I listen to like when I get in the car, my thought on my way to the car is what artist do I want to listen to? and what
Wow.
album am I going
Yeah.
to listen to? And I get in the car and I put that album on from start to finish. And
Hmm.
I don't stop until that album is over. And then I move on to the next album
Yeah.
because I'm just in that. So I guess maybe the time that I grew up in, right?
Yeah.
You go buy your fucking record, which the new Frozen Soul record. You go buy your record, you put it on the fucking turntable,
Yep.
and you put your headphones on. You crank that shit, and you look at the artwork. You read the lyrics, you read the liner notes, and you get the full experience.
Hmm. That is an experience that is now coming back though, which is good. Even through the last decade where vinyl had made the resurgence, a decent amount of the younger generation are now listening to CDs again.
I know, which is weird to me.
It harkens back to the whole life is cyclical thing.
Yeah,
That's an experience that people just don't get anymore with MP3s and online streaming music now.
they're doing tapes too.
Yep.
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 Everyone's like, I want tapes. I'm like, why?
They're dumb cheap to make, and you get it
It's
like
a it's a super low
you get the
threshold for a
experience.
fan, right?
Yeah. Yeah, you could
Yeah.
sell a cassette for $10 and I mean as a band make money from that because it's super cheap to make. Even
Yeah.
though that's not the point, but you can and you can give that experience to somebody who maybe was
It
not around for the
it kind of is the point. Like
yeah.
you're a band. You can, if you're not able to bring any money back in, there comes a point where you're like, okay, we hemorrhaged, a
Right.
$100,000 into this fucking band. Do we want to keep going? So
Yeah.
while we're
That
on physical media, I've have to ask this. What kind of physical media are you guys doing for this?
So interestingly enough, we have only done thus far. We did a run of 50 CDs just so we had something at the PostFest pre-show last year. So on the sly, the record has been available for a little bit, but if only if people were paying attention enough to know that we had it. Digitally, we haven't released it yet, and we do very much want to do vinyl. We just haven't pressed it yet. We have the masters and everything. It's just a question of getting it done.
How do we make this happen? How can I
money.
help make this happen?
Well, I think that's a conversation that we can definitely have. We have the masters though. Like we have tons of artwork. We have all the ideas ready to go. It's just a question of can we it could we were talking about can we do it independently um given the price of everything right now, like you want to be able to put out something that is representative of what you think it ought to look like. The record is big enough where we're like, oh damn, we're kind of in double vinyl territory, but at the same time, we might be able to get away with doing it on a single. It's just a question of
How many minutes is it?
it's
40.
53.
Oh, I thought it was a little bit short. I thought it was closer to like 48.
No, it's
You
like
want
51 or 53, something like that.
so if
Mm.
you're gonna my my opinion, and it's all it is an opinion. If you're gonna do it, you have two options. You could do two 10-inch vinyl, which is there's not a lot of pressing plants that are doing 10-inch anymore,
Mhm.
Yeah.
but that would give you the opportunity to do a gatefold and lots of extra art and cool shit with it. Or you could do a double 12-inch, three sides of music, one side etched.
Yep. We also
Yeah.
talked about that. Yeah, we've we've definitely thought about a lot of this ahead of time because honestly, we want it to sound the best that it can. And until we can, we can talk about somebody else helping us from a cost standpoint, we were looking at, okay, how can we make this happen with the lowest amount of overhead for us? Just because, we don't have a massive budget. You
Oh, you guys are fucking big rock stars. Don't lie to me.
like the last two records, I've literally sat on my couch and bought, the records themselves, like the actual physical CDs on a spindle, and we printed the inserts ourselves. I bought a 50 pack of clear CD cases, and we literally put them together ourselves. The first record is even more hilarious because of the context of how we ended up getting the resources that we did for it, which is probably better served as a conversation or a story to tell uh offline.
Did we talk about this the last time that we talked?
I don't know, honestly. I don't know if we told Tom like how those ones came to be.
Oh, it's so
Ye-
good.
Okay, well, then we'll do that offline at some point
Yeah,
because I
that's
need to hear that, and I'll tell you some stories about some of the stuff because
oh, it's a great story. Yeah, yeah,
hell yeah,
it's a great story, but for the sake of making sure that everybody stays family friendly, we'll keep that one for another time. But it is
they're
a story worth
they're
hearing.
in shit family friendly about this. Like
I was gonna say we're gonna tell the story offline, and then the next time we talk, it will be brought up.
it'll be brought up, which is cool because then we can kind of say, okay, we're not going to tell that part, but we'll tell this part.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Oh man.
sorry, I robbed the drug dealers or whatever the fuck, like
Yeah. Nothing illegal. Just the content is pretty hilarious. The
hell yeah,
whole the whole concept. Yeah. So another time that gives us a reason to have another conversation. But
Yeah.
correct. Yeah.
no, honestly, like we did a bunch of artwork. Like the last couple of records, everything is actually like it's not, there's nothing AI about it. Like everything that we could do, just straight physical, we could. Our really dear friend and extremely talented, photographer buddy Brendan Perry, he has been amazing for the last couple of records. He's done all of the artwork for both,
Mhm.
and we got really into talking about the photography for this one, and he was like, "Hey, I really want to do, we're his go-to for weird stuff." He's like, "I know that you guys are going to have some, super odd, weird ideas, and I have super odd, weird ideas that don't really make sense for anything else but with you guys." And I mean, Brendan and I have been friends for a long time, so he's just like, "Yeah, I can't imagine this for anybody but you." Um, but we got into, why am I blanking on help me out, Paul? Why am I blanking on the type of photography that we did?
Infrared.
Thank you. Yeah.
You're welcome.
Yeah, so we got into talking about infrared photography, and
You're getting old too.
yeah, yeah, right. He ended up, sending a camera body away to Japan to be modified for it, and we had this idea of how we wanted to have it look, and it would be this really interesting kind of juxtaposition of a really solemn, picture, which is a picture of an incredibly old graveyard in the middle of rural Pennsylvania that is really interesting because it's actually the graveyard itself is at the point where it is postulated that the first shot of, I want to say, the French and Indian War happened. It was a musket that was fired at George Washington, and yeah, it's super cool. And we had created these death masks of ourselves, which we had, at the merch table at pre-post, and it's these beautiful, vibrant, blues and pinks and all the hues that just don't make sense for what you would see in a graveyard. Um, but I think that's kind of like the uncomfortable whimsy of it. is it looks beautiful and it looks vibrant, and this is a place where people are laid to rest. You know what I mean? And you
Yeah.
see these death masks of the entire band laying in the grass, kind of like hidden in the picture.
Yeah.
So, we had a ton of photography around that is like perfect for vinyl. I mean, I ended up in the emergency room after that shoot. So it is like I'll be damned if we don't use the rest of that foot, not footage, but the photography, you know, to its fullest extent, because Brendan was awesome. He always is. And yeah, if I'm gonna lay my life on the line for it, damn it, we're gonna use it.
So, so I think something that's really important there is like this is it maybe unpopular opinion or weird opinion or whatever. I think death is it's a beautiful thing, right?
Mhm.
It's a beautiful thing because we know there is an end. We don't know when that end is coming. So for me, that should, and I hope a lot of others, that should be that that thing that reminds us I should enjoy my time with this person. I should not be a fucking asshole to be a to be an asshole. I should like keep this in mind because I might run into someone who's having a bad day. They may have lost someone that they loved. Why can't I be kind to them?
You never know what people are going through on the inside, no
Yeah.
matter what their presentation is to the rest of the world. And I think that's something that we all understand, and that's something that we try to convey musically. I mean, that's remembrance to a T.
Yeah.
Peel back your thickest skin, and underneath it all, you're not so brave. That's literally what that means.
See, this
Yeah.
is this is going to be fucking weird, but like we connected last year and we didn't just connect. It's like, hey, good songs and hey, that's cool. Like I feel like there was a deeper connection with
Absolutely,
us. And
Yeah.
without a
I
doubt.
I love that. And I love that, Eric, if you're watching, I love that you were a part of that as well. Um, because like you said, like Hero Way, I love them as people. They're just rad, super, super nice people.
Agreed.
Love them all. They're
Yeah.
amazing, amazing human beings.
Okay.
Yeah. When we
Holy
talk about
shit.
our music, it gets a little hard. It gets a little rough
I
sometimes.
I I don't know that it's hard. I think this is like
It's just real. It's real.
yes.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean this is you have the conversations that I think sometimes need to be had so other people out there know they're not alone, right? There are
Yeah.
everyone goes through these things. Whether you talk about it or not is another story, but literally everyone goes through it.
Yeah.
it's expression, right? I mean, it's expression, whether it is on a recording or if it's in a live performance setting. And if you can find a way to intertwine those two together, I think everyone is a little bit better for it. Like we played on Friday night. We actually were part of a local festival in Pittsburgh called Millville Music Festival, and it has grown exponentially over the last number of years.
I thought you were going to
Oh,
say Descendants of Crom.
We
no,
played
we did that
Descendants
a
of
couple
Crom
years
too.
ago.
Yeah. Shy, another amazing human being. We've she's been our roomie before in our rehearsal space with her old band Whorehound. We're good friends with Funerals,
Oh,
and
I fucking so fucking crazy. First, I saw Whorehound with Temple of the Fuzzwitch a couple of years ago, right before they broke up.
yeah,
Hmm.
Probably, now correct me if I'm wrong, Whorehound turned into Funerals.
correct.
Yep.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Yep.
And so, where did I see them? I saw them in Cincinnati, and then I ran into one of the dudes at Legalized Lex this year, who also plays in Star Guided Vessel, I think, or Star Viper.
Star Viper.
Yeah,
Yep.
You're talking about Dan.
the drummer.
Yep.
Yep.
Yep. He's a good friend of ours as well. Love Dan
They
to death.
played on Friday night with us as well.
Yep.
What a small fucking world, dude.
Yep.
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 It's
But
so wild.
it's yeah, it's really funny because um we ended up playing there's I think there was 31 stages this year, and we ended up playing the metal stage, which is we kind of chuckled to ourselves because it's like, we're like metal adjacent, we kind of feel like.
Yeah.
But Lou, who is the bassist in Funerals, is who is the, who is the guy that really kind of takes on and runs that stage in particular. And he got a hold of us and it's like, yeah, I'm taking you guys for the metal stage for sure. And we played with a bunch of incredible bands, all of
Mhm.
which were way heavier than us. And we were kind of, a little bit deeper. It was a six. The first night was six bands. We were fourth of six.
Mhm.
And as we were getting ready to go on, the band right before us. They're called Heavy Smoker. They were really heavy, and it was awesome. Uh, and then we kept like making the joke. We're like, we're about to just depress the shit out of everybody.
Yep.
So we get in there and we start setting up our lights and everything. And Lou is being as awesome as he is. He's like, yeah, we're just gonna pump the fog the entire time for you guys because he knows what we're bringing. And we got up there and started to perform, and I'll be damned if every single person that was two stepping and throwing arms and legs during during all the prior band sets were just like standing swaying back and forth, and we were just like, holy shit, it clicked. And it's that kind of moment where you can get people that are really into heavy music, but they find that one thing where it just everything else fades away, and you
Yeah.
can just let yourself go and you can lose yourself. And that's, I think, the biggest thing that we try to push is like I said, whether it's recording or whether it is live, all we want to do is just make sure that you can let yourself go, you can let yourself feel what you want to feel, and we're going to be
Lose
there with you.
yourself in the moment. You own it.
That's it. That's it.
You better never let it
We're
go.
secretly
Oh,
Eminem. You just didn't know it. That's all.
oh, that's fucking awesome. Em, I know you're watching this. That's fucking hilarious. I mean, that's awesome though, right? Like, I'll say that that's something that I saw at PostFest last year also was, I mean, it ranged. You had Primitive Man and Converge and like these, it was just so fucking heavy
Mhm.
and completely opposite. And I cannot tell you, I tried to have as many conversations as I could with people, and I didn't hear at one point anyone say, I didn't really get into that band. Like, I, everyone enjoyed every artist. And, shout out to Derek, Nason, and Sean for like curating not only a killer festival, but the community surrounding it. Because I get anxiety about going to shows sometimes because
Mhm.
I don't want to be like how are people going to be? Like
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
not going to Louder Than Life this year because it's probably going to be like 300,000 people, and I'm not I'm not into that. Like
Yeah.
I think there's bound to be people that um, not that I don't get along with, but people that act out of line just to go against the grain,
Sure.
not there to enjoy it, which
Yeah.
maybe I don't want to break a hip. I don't know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that is a fair thing to not want. But I mean,
Yeah.
Derek, Nason, and Sean, they're all wonderful human beings as well,
Yeah.
and you can very much see how much of themselves they put into it, and they wanna curate the best possible lineup that they can. And I think to that you also now have Matt from Idle Star in the mix. Matt McRae is
Yeah.
such a
Again,
amazingly
another fucking great dude, like
yeah.
doing
I've
it
been
for no other reason than for the love of the game.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I've been friends with him for a long time, and I've never once thought to myself, this guy is doing something for himself. He's always doing everything he can for everybody else,
Yeah.
myself included. You know what I mean? And for him to be part of that and to bring us into that post-fest community that way, to take us basically and introduce us to Derek Nation, Nason, and Sean. Like, um, that's a sign of a person that really buys into the community and really wants to give back in any way that he can. And it's very prevalent in those three guys as well.
Yeah.
Um, we wouldn't know you without any of that. And
Yeah.
we feel very fortunate in the fact that even for just the pre-show, we were a part of that community. So, we do hope that maybe in the next year or so, we get to take the next step in being part of that community. But
Hint,
um,
hint, guys, make it happen.
wink, nudge, nudge, nudge.
Wink.
No, no, honestly, we are we're very excited to to be able to be a part of that community, to see that community like you said, even from being like outsiders. We hadn't been there before, and everybody was so embracing, even just like talking to
That
people.
it was year one for me too.
Yeah.
And it was, oh, I have to say this because this like really sticks out in my mind. There was a there was a kid. I call him a kid. He was probably earlier mid 20s. I found out at the end of the weekend, his name is Max. He was a redheaded guy. At the pre-show, we're standing, Hero Way is playing, and there's probably 10 feet between us and the stage. And he comes up and he was like, "Hey man, like, do you guys mind if I get in front?" Like, no, go ahead, dude. Have fun, dance, whatever you're gonna do. Like, we're just here enjoying the fucking music, right? So he dances, dude. He dances his heart away all night.
Uh-huh.
And anytime I went to go see a band, I looked for him and I'd see him. Like pianos become the teeth. Like I'm
Yeah.
watching this kid. He is like singing at the top of his lungs with every lyric from the band. And I watched him with We Lost the Sea, who is another one of my like favorites. Like those dudes are rad and a great show. And I'm watching this kid. I The second We Lost the Sea set Saturday night, I'm standing with like Chris, their tech and sound guy. And I look out and Max is there like just going to town with all their fucking movements and how shit's moving. And there's an older lady next to him that turned out to be his mom, which was fucking rad because
That's awesome.
they're right up on the rail, dude. And I'm just like, how fucking cool is that? So, Chris, I need to say thank you again for that set list. He gave me a set list and I took it over to Max. And I was like, dude, you fucking deserve this.
Hmm.
So after all the music's done, he's leaving and I run into him. That's when I found out his name was Max. He was like, "Hey, thanks for that." I said, "Dude, no, dude, like, just thank you. I looked for you every chance, every time that I was watching a band and I'd see
Uh-huh.
you and you were just fucking enjoying it. And that was that was the essence of PostFest. Just being unabashedly yourself in the moment, enjoying the fucking music. That
That's
was
the point.
that was it.
That's
I
Life
the
doesn't
was
get
point.
much better than that.
no. I said don't ever. I said Max, don't ever fucking lose that dude. And he was like, all right,
Yep.
cool. Um, all right. On that note, I need to say one, I fucking love you guys. I absolutely do. I think you guys are great people and you put out great music.
Thank you.
Um,
Thank you so much.
thank you for taking time out twice now to hang out and chat with little old me.
Of course.
Um, and I think we're going to have some more conversations, probably quicker moving forward, maybe not recorded, uh,
Absolutely.
because whatever I can do, I just want to help, dude. I just want to have fun. I want to
Thank
enjoy
you.
music.
It's yeah, it's very appreciated. And we're gonna talk more recorded after this too. So
Oh,
Oh
for
yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
I know, but
We love you back, man. Like we love hanging out with you. We love, having
mhm.
conversation about music and everything around music, everything around life. It's so effortless. It was very effortless the first time. It was equally as effortless this time. Yeah. But many more conversations to come for sure.
for sure. All right. I am I'm sober, but I am like hungover because I didn't sleep last night. Like we got back to the hotel late. I think I went to bed at like 1:30 or 2.
E.
And at 5:30 this morning, the fucking fire alarm for the hotel went off.
Oh my God.
You are
Of
ready
course.
for bed, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So so guys, I seriously, I can't thank you enough because I feel the same way. The conversations are absolutely effortless. Um, I just, it's always a fucking great time talking to you guys.
Thank you very
Yeah.
much for everything. Thank you for taking some time out of your day to listen to the record and give us your thoughts on it. It means the world to us, and we hope
Hmm.
that you continue to enjoy it. We hope everybody that hears it after this continues to enjoy what they've heard and what they will hear. And
Yeah.
there's plenty more of that to come too.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah, brother. All
But
Oh yeah, brother.
right. You guys go. Have a great night. We'll chat soon, all right?
sounds great. Thanks a lot, Tom.
Definitely. Thanks
Thanks,
again.
guys.
See
See
ya.
ya.